位。
Everybody let you guys know, when they do call him back, only 2 at a time they go back. And then you guys
Hả? 唔知啊。
KFC 有冇想食 KFC 啊？
唔使啊，食咗好多呢啲炸雞。
炸雞啊，又揾第間，幾好玩啊！我哋，喂，Dallas Store 啊！慶祝呢間屋可能第一次有隻鴨入嚟。
真嘅。
Mr. Beast! Mr. Beast! Americans!
Tell me. Open your mouth.
I'll take this.
No, it's not good. It's not good. Okay, time now is 2 a.m. in the morning on January 6th, but let's pretend that it's actually December 29th, aka day 4 of the trip. Now, day 4. Something pretty intriguing happened, and that is, no, day 4 is December 29th, not 28th. Right. Something intriguing happened, and that is I had... Oh, wait, hold on a moment. Never mind. Day 4, the sleep was still bad. Day 4, I still had a terrible sleep. Yeah. Day 5, I had a good sleep, but day 4 morning, it was still bad. Woke up, I had oatmeal with condensed milk, fried eggs, spaghetti with bolognese sauce. That's a lot of food. It's completely unnecessary. And then for a lot of time, I didn't have any food, and then I got hungry again. But essentially on that day, my 2 cousins and their friend decided to go to the mountain to ski again because they booked a ticket for 2 days instead of 1. I booked 1 knowing that I won't go back to back, but unbeknownst to me, I hurt my right wrist, my right arm's wrist, and I can't go anyways. So, instead I had a nice, brief, quiet morning. My dad helped me put the polystyrene, or I think it's like styrofoam brace back to my wrist. And there's this whole, for me, in my opinion, I think it's a sprain. I don't think it's a fracture. If it's a fracture, it would be, the pain would be incomprehensible. It would be so bad it's incomprehensible. But then I described how the pain is like at the wrist, this part, and not this part. It's this part, not this part. And it makes sense because this part is more of the ligaments. Like if my hand does this or this, it's the ligaments or the tendons in this part of the forearm that's hurt. But my dad thinks, and some people think, that it might be like bones. It would be like a tiny fracture. So just to be safe, we went to a nearby hospital. And by nearby, I mean really nearby, really close by, St. Elizabeth something hospital. We went to the ER to check up on my wrist. And it's a Sunday too, so it's super short-staffed. And yeah, totally unexpected. This is my first experience of American healthcare. And we waited a while, and then our names got called. Me and my mom and dad, we went to another room inside the hospital. A little hospital room, like a little bed, like with the bed and everything. Doctor checked up on me, like my vitals and everything, and asked me a bunch of questions. And then we waited a lot of time until another bald, facial-haired, middle-aged man came in with an x-ray machine to scan my wrist. Now my parents had to step outside because it's protocol for like the third party to not be involved in the room, because if the machine malfunctions, they're liable to or something. I don't know. Yeah, I unfortunately didn't see the X-ray scans. I really wish I had. I want to know what my wrist looks like in the inside. But according to the doctor, according to the guy, the X-ray scanner, he was like, "Oh, I'm not a doctor, so don't take my word. But from what I can tell, I think it's just a sprain. There does not seem to be any fractures. But then again, I'm not a doctor." And then we waited half an hour or more, just waiting in the room. Waiting. We spent such a long time waiting. And during that time, there's this other nurse who kept slamming our door. Like, she would just come up to us and randomly slam our door shut, and we would be talking to each other in Cantonese. Also, at first, the doctor thought, like, none of us are English speakers. And then she's like, "Oh, do you guys need a translator?" Or, I think, I don't know, my mom or my dad was like, "Oh, we might need a translator." But there's also me who speaks fluent, perfect English, so y'all are good. Anyways, it's really weird. At some point, my mom went outside and asked, like, "What's the wait? Like, why is it taking so long?" And that nurse, that annoyed nurse, was like, "You're gonna have to wait for a couple hours at least. It's this hospital is super short-staffed, so wait for a couple hours, okay?" And then she left. Very bad attitude, terrible attitude. But thankfully, the X-ray guy passed by, and my mom approached him, or my mom approached him again, and he's like, "Okay, I'll ask." And then not too long after, a doctor came and basically told me, "You're fine, you're good, it's just a sprain," and gave me a brace, a nicer, fancier leather brace. Not leather. I don't know what material this is. It's kind of like leather though, right? Silk? I don't know. Yeah, a silk brace, and then Velcro brace. And an ice pack that is not cold, and a free towel for no reason. And then we're good. And then another person came and checked my vitals, and we left. So the entire process took like 2 hours, and the sun is already down. My godfather's family, all, like, the elder sister, the younger brother, the mom, the dad, and my grandma and my aunt were all there. Or I think my grandma was not there. I forgot. So we were supposed to, I guess, go to the town center and have some coffee, is what I was told. But turns out that's not the plan at all. The town center of Enumclaw has nothing, I guess. So instead we went to some other town nearby, called Bonnie Lake, which is literally the same town we went to for Fred Meyer's. And we went to Marshall's, which is a shop that I've been to so many times already. Every time I go to Seattle, we go to Marshall's, and we looked at clothes, and it was very fucking boring, and I did nothing. I just watched my own short film on my Google Drive, and I just walked around the store. I don't really care. And then I was hungry, and then at some point, my godfather was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna drive around and see what's nearby and take a look at what restaurants are there nearby or what cafes." And then my dad's like, "Yeah, sure." And then so I followed my dad. So me, my dad, and my godfather were in this car, and my godfather drove us around the area, and it's nothing. It's like a barren wasteland of either empty plots of land, trees, and we were looking into cafes, and my godfather gave me his phone and it's opened on Google Maps, and it shows a bunch of nearby cafes. All of them are closed aside from two. One is Starbucks, and the other is like Java, like Big Java or something. And I thought, okay, Starbucks, whatever, who cares? Big Java, never heard of it. Let's go and try. So we went. Turns out it's like this drive-through thing. That's basically Starbucks, but more local. It's so barren. It's so empty. So we went back, and we were gonna. I low-key wanted to go to Target, but I honestly didn't care because I wanted to buy pajama shorts because the blue pants right here, right now, it's getting fuzzy, and I need new pajama pants. But it's not that urgent, anyways. And then my godfather's family went to Target, and my mom suddenly wanted to go back home. And my mom's like, we'll look at other stores. And I'm like, fine. So we went back to the Airbnb, and we settled down. We waited for a bit, and yeah. But good thing is, my wrist is okay. It's not broken. It's just sprained. Who cares? And using the laptop at first is a bit difficult. At first, this is like the only position I can do. If I do this, it hurts a little. If I do this, it hurts a lot. But on day 4, I could do it a little bit better. And then I could move my fingers more. And then by day 5, I could do this. So honestly, I'm rapidly improving, by the way. Like right now, I can scratch my face. I can do this. I can pick up my mouse. It's like my hand. I'm actually fine. So, yeah, I mean, it still kind of hurts right now, but anyways, dinner, again, we had a lot of food, so much food, I want to blow up. Cheese with crackers and potato chips, rice, chashu, roast duck, mapo tofu, pickled cucumbers, pickled radish, wax sausage, kailan, roast pork belly. What a feast. Plus potato chips. Oh, Lunchable. I tried Lunchable. And had some sweet soup at the end. Yeah, but can't help but felt, again, kind of isolated from the rest of the young generation. Kind of quiet and feeling kind of awkward, feeling kind of left out, feeling misunderstood, which is stupid, but who cares? Instead, I was talking to Jiayun again. What the hell is going on with this girl? What the fuck is going on with this girl? No idea. So, Jiayun was texting me more and more. And she's like, oh, sorry, I was busy. Can I call you? And I was taken back. It's the second time she's asked to call me. First of all, this place has no privacy at all, so I don't even know if a call is possible. But a small part of me thinks, ooh, what if, like, I'm super quiet in front of everyone, but then suddenly I receive a phone call from some random girl, and I speak a lot, and other people notice it, and they go, ooh, this, Enoch, he's hiding something. He's got layers, But of course, that's a silly fantasy. But eventually I did not call her. She was busy. She was like, oh, sorry, something came up. She's always like that. She's always like, oh, something came up, because something comes up to her all the time. Like, she has so much going on in her life. Like she's a big star. She's a horrifying big star. So yeah, that's basically day 4. I was thinking to myself, like, how should I feel about Jiayun? Because on one hand, I do think that it's really nice that a girl who is into film, who is Asian, who is maybe somewhat interesting, kind of artsy, and very confident, is talking to me a lot. It makes me happy. On another hand, I'm scared that she's, like, basic. Like, and too aggressive. I mean, I love aggressive women, don't get me wrong. Or girls, for this matter. But maybe she's not, like... At some point, I was thinking maybe she just it would be better if she doesn't speak to me as often. It's a weird thing to say, but like part of what made Leslie kind of attractive was that sometimes I can't even talk to her. Like sometimes we don't talk for a bit. And that added to the tension. And that's actually even more apparent to Mary. For Mary, it's like I don't talk to her for years. And the fact that I can't speak to her for years made the tension so high. The one-sided tension with me towards her. And of course that's a bad thing, but it's also a beautiful thing. And sometimes I'm just wondering, Jiayun isn't this elusive, mysterious goddess that I want to talk to but I can't. Instead she's the one talking to me. It's like we're on, I don't know, it's like she doesn't have that aura. But then again, things change for a wee bit. So that's day 4.
他们不知道，我又不知道。
Wait, Noah, remember to share.
哇塞，成9隻沙佬喎！有送一嚿俾我嘅。
我会帮他叫
ticketing 嗰度等，跟住可以用傷殘士牌啊，喺 drop off 嗰度 drop 你哋又得。有咩打？限時間㗎。天然獎，我哋跟你哋。
8點半啊，佢話。
因為呢個12係 婆婆小心啊！阿媽靠右行，唔好行中間。
我明啦，其實係燈光晚會背景啊喺嗰度。誒，
呢度你嘅電話開咗。
我知道。
兜翻上去，唔係由呢度兜個圈就可以過翻嗰度。阿紅。
但係其實佢啲原先嗰啲動物喺邊？我覺得係喺度用嗰啲係啊，唔錯，真係唔錯，好靚，好特別你見過嗎？有咁多。呢個設計呢個設計師仲係咯，有啊有啊。唔喐嘅，你想教你想教啊？你同因為咁啊，斬埋。
I knew it didn't smell. It didn't smell highly funny.
Hell no. What the fuck is this, bro?
Nó có cái真係似啫，打笨象喎。
哦，佢食蟻㗎。
佢食菜喎，擺啲菜嗰度。
係啊，真係啦，真係。
係咯。
佢好似着咗件衫咁嘅。
係咯。好似 baby 咁嘅隻眼神。
係咯係咯。未見過我第一次。
未見過係啊。
都唔知係咩動物。有啲似大。
而家完唔完？我哋翻返去啦，翻啦，係咪？使唔使買嘢食本？我就唔知，好我識佢自己知場先。誒，都好場可以。
Hello. Time now is 2:23 a.m. on January 6th, and even though it is January 6th, let's for a moment play pretend. Let's pretend that today is actually December 30th, or day 5, and yeah, day 5 of the trip, December 30th. Goddamn, that was boring. Like, so many things happen, and I don't remember any of them because they're all so boring. So the one good thing that happened on day 5 was I had a really good sleep. So day 4, I went to bed at 3:40 a.m., fell asleep at around 4:30 maybe, woke up at around 9:30 maybe, but then finally woke up at around 11:30. The great thing about waking up and not having a clock is you just don't know the time at all. Very great, very convenient. December 29th at night, I went to bed at 3:10 a.m. Miraculously, I was able to fall asleep quite fast, and I woke up at 11:30 a.m. on December 30th morning, which is nice. It's nice. About 8 hours of sleep. It was fulfilling. I mean, this is what I was looking for in a holiday. So I'm glad it finally happened. I had a sweet bun, some orange juice, pork bone soup with noodles for breakfast. And it was not too bad. So on December 30th, my wrist felt so much better, and we went to another mall outlet called the Outlet Collection at Auburn. And my mom and my aunt talks about going to this outlet as if it's gonna be this fun place, and it's not. I went there and I'm like, wow, this place is fucking boring. It's just another mall. And the thing is, I've been to like 2 or 3 malls that look exactly like this. Like, earlier last year, at around like late May, I hung out with Evelyn and her friend, and we went to this mall in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, near Long Beach, in Gardena. It's kind of like that mall. It has the same like width of the hallways, the same kind of layout, the same pointy rooftop-esque ceiling, but this one is way bigger. But still, it's like the same shit. It's like there's Best Buy, there's like boba places, there's a food court. Like, why does every mall in America are like 1 out of 3 kinds? It's either like Westfield, or it's like one of these old boring types, or it's like, I don't know, a bigger building, but it still feels like Westfield. Like, it's so boring. It's so goddamn boring. So I walked around and I am completely uninterested at all. Yeah. And I took a look at Hot Topic. I wanted to get inside, but I didn't. But I wanted to be emo, but I don't want to be too obvious about it, It's funny because I did eventually go to another Hot Topic in another fucking mall. I should have counted how many malls I went to in this trip. I really should. I'm gonna do that by the end. So yeah, that was fucking boring. I went to a food court with my mom and ate a little more stuff, and I saw my cousins and my brother getting ice cream together at Dairy Queen, and I joined in. And again, if it's like weird, it's like I'm not part of their gang now. But I joined in anyways, and I got myself an ice cream that is too big, and I ate half of it, and then the other half is thrown away. It's like Blizzard. It supposedly tastes good, but it's too many calories, and I've already consumed enough calories in the whole trip. Okay, so after that we went to the Cheesecake Factory for dinner, which is a restaurant I've been to. It's good. I'm excited, I guess. And of course that's inside another mall, and that mall is called the Tacoma Center or something. And it's literally the same mall. Like, if you tell me it's a different mall, I wouldn't believe in you. It's a little bigger, it has floors, but, yeah, it's just the same fucking thing. So we went to Cheesecake Factory. So originally we were supposed to visit this glass museum place, but my aunt isn't really well prepared, and then as it turns out, the glass museum place closes at 5:30 p.m. And, also my aunt and my uncle forgot to buy tickets to the zoo light thing, so we couldn't go visit the zoo lights until after dinner. Originally, we were supposed to see it before dinner. So anyways, we had Cheesecake Factory dinner at 5:30 p.m. So I had breakfast and lunch at the same time at 12 at noon. I had like this big thick ice cream at around 3 p.m. and you're telling me we're having dinner at 5 p.m. But even so, all the kids, everyone, we chomped up the food. We ate so fast, it's almost irritating. And again, I'm struggling. I only have my left hand to eat the food. We had carbonara, and my godfather's daughter, my god sister, I don't know. She's like the master orderer during that dinner. And I could hear her Texan accent, fun fact, because she's like, y'all, darling, hun, angel. But she's also like, you're East Asian, you don't have to say that. But you can, anyways. Yeah, and then I'm just like, man, I know it's not true, but I can't help but feel that other adults are looking at me and thinking, why isn't Enoch like her? Why isn't Enoch similarly independent and active? But I am independent and active. Like, I go to restaurants in LA and I order food by myself. I just can't do that because I'm feeling like shit. But I know I'm just assuming what people are thinking of me because I'm delusional, of course. Yeah, anyways, we had a lot of food. We had some really good cheesecake. Too bad it's I was already really full. So I had a little bit. We had a little mango key lime cheesecake. We had a little tiramisu flavor. We had a little banana cream flavored. I had a little strawberry cream. Just a lot. And then we drove to Owen Beach, or point tolerance. Hold on. I know it's called Owen Beach, but it's not. Point Defiance. Yes, so there's a zoo there, but it's at night and not a lot of animals are awake, and it's nothing but like Christmas lights, and that's the whole place. It's beautiful, sure, but it's nothing too shocking. Like, I'd rather go to Team Lab Planets than this, and Team Lab Planets is like 20 times more visually interesting of an experience. And even so, it's still not even top 5 attractions in Japan. So this is boring. My cousins and my brother, and my god brother, I guess, they went off and they walked around on their own. And no, my cousin's friend was with them too. And they're having fun. They're walking around. I'm not having fun. I just slowly walk around and it's depressing as fuck. Again, like, I'm bored. If no one's talking to me on Instagram, then I have nothing. Like, I look at my phone and there's nothing in it. I look at outside and there's also nothing. I'm completely devoid of pleasure, which is bad, but I am. So that was boring and it was cold, and then I left. We returned to the Airbnb. And that night was rough because Jian talked to me a little more, and at some point Jian revealed a truth bomb that apparently her life had a lot of lore, and I'm like, sure, what happened? And she's like, oh, so during this summer I knew this guy, and this guy introduced me to this amazing filmmaker, and he lived in my house over the summer, and I had a massive crush on him. And then this guy friend told that guy that I have a crush on him, and it kind of ruined our relationship. And I'm like, okay. I mean, let's be honest here, I have had a crush too last year. But I don't know, hearing Jiayun talk about other people like having a crush on other people. It almost reminds me of the time Leslie told me about the other suicidal Chinese girl who gave her the emerald necklace. Similar vibes. Hearing a girl talk about their crush makes me less confident, because it's like, wow, like this also reminds me of Leslie and Theo. Like, it's like, oh, of course, there's always this another guy out there who's more attractive and more amazing and more charismatic than me. So I don't know. And then there's also this whole fiasco, and it's fucking embarrassing, honestly. My elder cousin wants to buy a gift for his girlfriend. And my elder cousin's like 2 years younger than me. When I was 20, I still haven't met Leslie, by the way. and my cousin didn't say that. It was my aunt or my grandma who said that. And no, my aunt. And my grandma was like, oh, is this still the Taiwanese girl? And my aunt was like, no, it's British this time. It's a white girl. And it's like, when I was 20... Actually, no. When I was 20, I knew who Leslie was. But I was still 2-0. Like, I liked 2 girls and I had 0 results. So of course that made me feel kind of bad. So all of that combined gave me the fuel I need to finish writing The Virgin. And I actually did. So the one good thing that happened that night was on December 30th at night, I finished The Virgin, version 3. Finished the script. I wrote the climax scene. It's beautiful. There's one part that just literally came out. Like the arrest me on the charge of being a virgin. That part literally came out of my head when I was writing it. Didn't plan that out at all. It just made sense that the character would say that thing. Because I feel like that's kind of like me. Maybe being a virgin is okay, but being condemned for being a virgin is not okay. And even though I'm not publicly condemned, no one's laughing at me, but I feel like I'm condemned. Maybe it's a delusional thing again. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but it's that feeling that really hurts. So, yeah, proud of it. I also finished editing The World Is Not Enough. So yeah, that's day 5. Hello. Another Westfield Mall. Fuck you. Bro, they got that double chunk chocolate chip cookie.
咩唔坐過嚟啊？你哋咁多位冇位？呢個油扒你哋可以落翻酒店嗰度煮。
我哋朝頭早嗰邊有早餐，食完之後。
你咁樣講到啊？
唔係即係一個同佢哋傾下偈，因為其實你知啲後生仔咧最容易 feel 到就係佢孤獨。咁我哋今晚就因為過年啊嘛，咁就即係佢哋講
你又帶冇帶冇冇？
呢度美國都好有佢嘅 long time 嘅時間，求主都係好受嘅啦。當佢哋係有唔開心啊，或者遇到困難嘅時候，求主你就係好受佢哋啦。time 係New More 我哋將
主你嘅名下，感謝主你，我哋將一切每一個珍貴嘅人喺呢一度都獻上感恩。主你聽到佢哋嘅呼求，求主你祝福佢哋，求佢哋。
誒，係咪隻鞋啊？
未，仲有一排好耐㗎，你喺嗰度嗰邊，起碼半粒鐘啦佢哋。啊嗰邊啊，遠遠嗰邊，嚟。船喺嗰度。嗰個係環保對湖嚟㗎，睇唔睇到啊？就出邊嗰個就係環保對湖嚟㗎，湖嘅對面先係光。嗰個唔係海喎，我以為我大氣抽咗個抽咗飛先係湖。環保對湖啊！
真係好少嘅啫，得閒一陣。我都講好耐嘅。點解咁散嘅佢嗰個？係啊，佢前邊。
每一題。
你係咪放緊煙花啦？即係可以睇唔到，我睇到光。
I heard you say like
Oh, I mean like get ready for like oh that's I've been saving the snail for so long. Bro, don't. You're gonna get an Wait, so you're from LA, it'd be like 24 to go. You can't do anything. But we gotta go regardless.
Hold on.
gonna break up with Angela. Angela. And Lena. Oh.
Sydney.
喂，你去咩邊度香港？
Sydney. Sydney.
係。Okay, so I go out there, I wash my hands. Okay, number one, I wash my hands. I come here, I clean this first, I clean this, and then I take off half my clothes. I put my pajamas here, clean, with towel underneath. This is the only spot I can keep them. I cannot go outside naked. Okay, so okay, so normally I get naked outside, come in, and then I go out. No, I get naked outside, come in, shower, I go out, change to pajamas. Now, I can't be naked outside, so I need to prepare my pajamas inside. There's no sink inside, so my hands have to be dirty. I have to take off my clothes here. So I have to clean this, go out, take off my clothes here, and then do this, move this to this, shower, back. Okay. Hello world, time now is 4:52 p.m. on January 6th. However, we're going to pretend that it's actually December 31st, day 6 of the trip. That's right, we are playing pretend once again. So this kind of marks the halfway point of the trip. It's the 6th day of the trip out of 11 days, and we are checking out of the Airbnb, the big wooden house in Enumclaw. I slept for a bit less than 5 hours. Went to bed at 3:25 a.m., woke up at around 9:10 a.m., and we immediately packed up, which, again, was really easy. For me, packing up was really easy because most of my stuff is already inside my luggage. I don't take out all of my stuff out of my luggage. I keep most of my stuff in my luggage. I just take out whatever I need. I'm very minimalist now. I'm a minimalist packer. So anyways, I had a pretty shitty breakfast, bread and sausages, which is already better than what I'm doing. Anyways, of course, what exciting thing we're gonna do other than going to a mall? So we went to Westfield South Center Mall in a place called Tukwila, which is somewhere en route between that town and Tacoma, and it's Westfield, so I know exactly how it's gonna look like. It's also funny because I didn't know that Westfield malls also exist outside of LA, but this mall doesn't feel like Century City or Culver City at all, or the Santa Monica place. This mall feels more like this mall feels like Westfield Topanga. But anyways, we walked around that mall and there's nothing there. There was a food court. We sat down, and my cousins and my aunt drove my cousin's friend to the airport because my cousin's friend is leaving. And meanwhile, my mom's Chinese friend, the woman whom I've met back in a while back in I don't know, at some point in November or early December, I had dinner with her. I forgot when exactly that happened. She showed up with her son, who is my brother's age, and they hang out. And we went to the food court in that place, and literally half the restaurant are restaurants that I'm already really familiar with, you know, Chipotle and etc. But I wanted boba. For some reason, I was craving boba, and I didn't bring my wallet with me. It was in the car. So my mom gave me her card, and I was like, I've never been to this mall, but I don't fucking care. I searched up on my phone, boba, this mall. It pointed me to a store, and I went to that store, and I got some boba, which is nice. But en route, on my way to that boba store, I accidentally walked past a few other boba stores. There are multiple boba stores. I got boba, but I also had like lunch, a bunch of random like pad thai, pho noodles, like mochi nut at some point. I tried Popeye's biscuit, which is surprisingly salty. And then everyone joined together and we went to walk around the mall again. I went to H&M to look for my pajama pants. Nope, no luck. And then we went to Hot Topic. My brother and his friend went to Hot Topic and I went in. And Hot Topic to me, while I'm really investing into goth/emo fashion this year, that's one of my goals. By this year I mean 2025. I do think that Hot Topic might be a little bit too easy and a little bit too obvious and a little bit too middle school flavored for me. So I don't know, gotta be creative. But I have been thinking a little bit about my fashion sense and how I have to develop my own fashion sense. And one of the things is, it's easy to look at someone like me and think, oh, you're like organized, you're quiet, you're more intellectual, so wear a button-up shirt. Wear something angular. But I should be the opposite of that, actually. Fashion should complement you, not express you. So I should wear something soft and messy and fuzzy. Because I'm soft boy. And also, I'm sad. So I should wear like muted colors, like dark green, dark blue, dark red, as in maroon. I think those colors fit me the best. And purple as well. But I don't want to do any more blacks and grays. I think I have too much black and gray in my clothes, in my closet. And they're not interesting, you know. Of course, black is like something that everyone could wear and look good, but it looks plain on me. My hair is already black. My eyes are already like black/brown. Like any more black on me is just unnecessary. Like I should invest more in like dark green, for instance. It's a really good color for me. So anyways, we went to Uniqlo. My dad and I went to Uniqlo for a wee bit, and no pants, who cares? We stayed a little while in this nice little library place. And again, for the most part, I'm just looking at my phone. I use my phone so much during this trip. Like, before the holidays, I use my phone about my screen time is about 4 to 5 hours a day, which is already fucking terrible. But with this trip, it's like 6 to 7 hours a day, if not more. And that's bad. I'm on vacation. I shouldn't be looking at my phone, but everything is so boring. So anyways, right after that, we went to Redmond, the town that is in the Kirkland, Bellevue, Redmond trifecta, the triangle. And we went to the Redmond Marriott Inn, which is the same hotel me and my family stayed at back in summer of 2016 when we visited Seattle that year. And it's really crazy. It's baffling that 8 years later, or 8.5 years later, the hotel still looks exactly the same as I have remembered. And of course, partially because I have filmed, I have vlogged when I was 13, so I have the footage with me. But yeah, it still looks exactly the fucking same. And yeah, we settled down a little bit. We put down our luggage, and we left. And I personally thought that maybe because I'm living in a nice hotel room now instead of a large house with a bunch of people, maybe living would be easier. But boy, was I wrong. It actually got even worse from here on out. In fact, that hotel might be one of the worst I've ever stayed in. Okay, anyways, I digress. It's the last day of the year, so obviously some celebrations are to be had. So the occasion is that we are all going to go to my aunt's house in Kirkland, and we're gonna have a final dinner and a countdown there. But before going there, we need to buy food. So we went to Costco. Great, another giant store. Again, I'm like somewhat isolated from the other children, but I got to speak more to my cousins. I sat in the car with them to Costco and I talked more to them. I feel like it's the first time in the trip where I actually talked to them. And I laughed a little bit. For some reason, I socialize with the younger cousin more than the elder cousin. The elder cousin feels more menacing. The younger cousin feels more jokey and unserious. But anyway, we went to Costco and I socialized with my cousin a little bit more. And it's funny because I go to Costco and all I can think about is the Costco kids, the Costco family, the Costco guys. The double chunk chocolate cookie, and also I'm a Costco hoe. Like all of America is just memes to me. America is just one big meme. But yeah, we walked around and it's nothing special. I just made silly Instagram stories wherever I go. I took a photo of some fish heads because that's like the only interesting thing visually. Maisie saw that Instagram story and was like, Fitch, like F-I-C-H. I don't know why would Maisie suddenly say that. Maybe she's drunk. And I'm like, haha, that's the only interesting thing I could find in this store. And then Maisie responded to me with like a clover leaf emoji. I like that people have, I guess artsy people have like their own emojis from here on out. Like everyone has their own weapons or something. And mine is the magnifying glass. I should use it more often. But, yeah, so, yeah, on the way back from Costco to the car, my elder cousin talked about not being able to sleep, and he got some melatonin, and the younger cousin was like, have you tried weed? And my elder cousin's like, that's not how weed works. And then I casually revealed that I tried weed before. And my elder cousin was like, what kind? And I'm like, well, I tried blunt, I tried bong, I tried edible. It's not surprising. Maybe to them they are a bit surprised that I've tried weed. But to be honest, okay, 2 years ago, and by that I mean 2022, if you asked me about weed, I would be like, wow, it's gonna be crazy. Like, if I try weed, I would go insane. But like, I've tried it a couple times, and only a couple, and let me just say, it's nothing to me at this point. It's like, weed does nothing to me. Neurochemicals don't do anything to me usually, so it's like nothing. So maybe to some other people outside of America, outside of California especially, like, oh my god, this like crazy drug, but like, it's like nothing. Everybody does it, and it doesn't mean anything to me. Like, it does not. This substance does nothing to me. Okay, so we arrived at my aunt's place for dinner, and once again, I did nothing but playing with cats, and I talked more. I talked to Michelle about Jiayun. I wanted to ask her for advice because I wanted to meet up with Jiayun, but at the same time, I mean, I will. I just don't know how to feel about it. And Michelle makes actually a semi-great point, and that is part of the reason why I have so much trust issues now, especially towards, talking to a girl, is because of Leslie. Leslie traumatized me to a point where I can't even feel anymore, because Michelle feels similarly when Michelle, like, post Harrison, Michelle has encountered 4 to 5 guys where she's like, I don't know if he's flirting with me or not, like, or maybe it's just a friendly thing, like, I don't know, I can't tell anymore. Anyways, we had dinner, which is quite nice. what was the dinner again? It's fancy steak, fried shrimp, spaghetti, salad. And then at around 10:30, we went to the big living room for the countdown. But it was like 10:30, and my godfather, with his very large size and the glasses, he decided to do a sermon like a pastor, like a Christian pastor. And he brought all the family, everyone together in the same room, and was like, okay, so, and it's really fucking stupid. So earlier today, my aunt found this silly little thing on Facebook or something, or Instagram, where it's like, oh, level 1 of loneliness, you do this alone, level 2 is this, level 3 is this, and one of the levels is like watching a film alone in a theater, which is something I do all the time, and then level 9 is like doing surgery alone, which sucks. Level 10 is giving birth alone. At some point, one of them is like moving from apartment to apartment alone. There's eating hot pot alone, and it's supposed to be like a semi-joke. But my godfather decided to expand this joke into a biblical thing, which is completely unnecessary. He's like, so, everyone here, let's talk about what is the loneliest moment of your life. So we had like 12 people in that room, or actually 13. Me, my cousins, my brother, my brother's friend, my godfather's children, my godfather's wife, my parents, my cousin's mom, my second aunt, her husband, and my uncle's friend, and my mom's Chinese friend, and her son. So like 12 people, and my grandma, of course. And we all have to share our loneliest moment. And I thought that was fucking stupid. It's New Year's Eve. It's supposed to be a happy thing. Why are we doing this? It was really lame, but surprisingly, my brother was like the first person to start. And my brother, despite being a measly 16-year-old, had this really honest, heartfelt moment about how lonely he felt when he studied alone earlier this year, the last few months. Which is valid, because I felt the same way during round 1. I've been through what he's gone through. And maybe he's having it worse because he's only 16, and I did it when I was 19. But maybe he's having it better, because at least he has his aunt, uncle, and grandma in Seattle with him. I have no one in California. But after that, after him, everyone tried to follow his example and be as vulnerable as possible. I tried to be a little vulnerable, but a little vulnerable in front of my family is a lot of vulnerable, because I never talk about my feelings in front of my family, let alone other family members, extended family. But at the same time, I'm not scared to be vulnerable, because in my short films, I am extremely vulnerable. But in real life, in person, I am stoic as a stick. But I essentially talked about how I had 2 periods of loneliness in my life. One was back in secondary school, when I felt that I had a glass wall between me and the rest of the world, and whatever I say, like, is not going through. And then the second period of loneliness is like, coming to LA. And my cousins gave semi-truthful answers as well, like, going to a different country, studying, etc. It was nice that everyone got to be personal, but at the same time it was lame and a bit awkward. And then, it went on, and we had this very long prayer. And we were about 20 minutes away from 0000/2025. And the Godfather was like, okay, let's pray. Let's hope this prayer is short, so that we don't miss the countdown or something. And then we prayed and went on and on and on and on, and we actually missed the countdown. But my cousins, they're not Christian, and they were opening their eyes, and I was semi-opening my eyes half the time, because honestly, at this point, I don't think I'm Christian. But I didn't miss the countdown. I filmed the moment, sorta, when it turned 2025. But like when I started recording, it was already 0000, so I missed the moment it changed, but it's okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. At some point, my godfather asked my elder cousin, what do you do to cope with loneliness? And my elder cousin was like, drugs. And by that, I'm sure he means weed. I don't think he's taking LSD or whatever, but who knows. But the more surprising thing is he was drinking cans of beers, and he kept opening another can and another can and another can, and his face was completely red by the end of the night. Yeah, certainly not the other cousin I know. And the fact that I don't see my cousins until like a year later is like I stop being able to monitor how my family grows and how my family changes. And it's even more so the case for people like Natalie and Cedric and Leia and Pink, where I go back to Hong Kong and I meet those people and I don't even know them anymore because I don't see them for a year, and then a lot of shit happens and then they're like a different person again, and I'm like, okay. I digress. So we had a cheesecake after that, and the boys, so my cousins, my godfather's son, who, by the way, last time I saw him was 2016. He was like a chubby child. Now he's like, has deep voice, acts very mature, even though he's still a chubby child. He talked about the rice purity test, which is a test, an online test you do to test how pure you are. And you know me, I'm sensitive about this stuff. If you make fun of me for being bad at basketball, I'm like, sure, I suck. If you make fun of me for being too pure, I will genuinely stab you with a knife. Because I'm angry about that shit. I'm very pure. And it's almost something embarrassing. And it shouldn't be. But the thing is, tests like this make it so that it seems like a competition. A competition to be pure versus competition to be impure. And reduces a person's personality down to numbers. So, yes, I haven't had sex. I haven't had a fist fight. I haven't jerked off in public and got arrested. But that doesn't mean I'm a simple, happy guy. Like, what if I'm secretly insane? What if I'm schizophrenic? What if I'm in a crazy cult? What if I don't know. Like, you don't know. So, yeah, I really hate it. My godfather's son asked me, do the rice purity test. And I actually got angry. I swore in front of my family for the first time, even though nobody heard it. I was like, I'm not going to do that fucking test. Fuck that. Like, fuck that fucking test. I said something like that. So yeah. But my cousins, they did it. My younger cousin got 40-something. My elder cousin also got 40-something. And my brother got 79. But he's like, oh, all of it is like a stretch. Like, have you been groped before in the ass? And my brother's like, well, when I was a baby, I guess my parents did touch my butt when they changed my diaper, so I guess it kind of counts. But no, that's not groping. Not really. So, yeah, it's fucking bullshit anyways. But I do hope that I change in 2025, but then again, I don't really want to think about this shit. Like sex, like, I will kill myself before I have sex. Let's make a bet here. A hanging noose or a pussy. Which one am I gonna see first? Let's make a bet here, right? For some people it's like, for Ken it's like, oh, pussy all the way, but like, you know, I'm not a normal person. Or more like, I'm normal, no, we're all not normal. I'm just not normal on the other way. Okay. What else? Okay, so after that, we returned home super late. By home, I mean the hotel at Redmond, and holy fucking shit was that place shit. So, thankfully, my brother's not living with us in the hotel room, it's just me and my parents. There's a bed, and there's a sofa. The sofa is opened up so that it becomes a bed. And it's dirty, but you know what, who cares? It's not that comfortable, but again, you know what, who cares? At least I'm sleeping alone. So, here's the fun thing. Now, first of all, there's a pretty nice table right beside my bed where I could charge my phone and my laptop. But it's against a wall and the entire room can see what I'm looking at on my laptop. So it wasn't that great. So a lot of the times I'm really aware when my parents see what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at porn in front of them, but even so, if I'm looking at a YouTube video about VTubers, or if I'm listening to weird music, I don't want my parents to see it. It's just private shit, you know? The most frustrating is actually the bathroom. So I'm very stingy about bathrooms, and I'm very stingy about the sequence before bed because I'm autistic. And if you think my aunt's house is complicated enough, this is even worse because the bathroom is right beside the main bed where my parents are sleeping, and their heads are literally in the same position as the doorway to the bathroom. So if I go to the bathroom and I walk out of the bathroom, they'll immediately fucking see me. The other thing is the bathroom doesn't have a fucking door. There's a door to the toilet bowl in the shower. There's no door to the sink. And that complicates every fucking thing. Because for me to take a shower, I need to take off my clothes, go into the shower place, shower, grab the shower towel, which is clean, and then go to grab my pajamas, wear them, and then brush my teeth and then go to bed, right? That makes sense. But now here's the catch. Usually I place my dirty clothes in my clean pajamas on the sink. I can't do that shit anymore because the sink is outside of the fucking bathroom. So, and I can go outside, but I would be naked in front of my parents. So I have to place everything inside the room with the toilet bowl. So literally when I was going to the bathroom, first of all, there's no hanging, by the way. There's one hook behind the door, but I'm not going to use that. So literally, I have to brainstorm what to do. So when I went to the bathroom, I had to grab a clean shower towel, a clean towel, and place it on the bathtub and put my pajamas on the bathtub. And as for my street clothes, I have to place them on the ground because I literally have no other place to put them. And then, the crazy thing is, usually I wipe down the toilet bowl before I sit on it. I can't do that unless I'm fully clothed because I can't be naked outside of the toilet bowl, right? So I cleaned everything, and then I'm like, oh shit, now my hands are dirty. If I take off my street clothes and throw them on the ground, then my hands are dirty again. Unless I wash my hands in the bathtub, but then that would make my pajamas wet. So eventually I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. Or like I took off my pants and my shirt and I left my undershirt and my underwear. I washed my hands, I closed the door using my feet, and then I took them off and then I went to the bathroom. And then afterwards, I have to move while my hands are still dirty. I can't go outside and wash my hands with soap because by going outside I would be naked. And also there's no hand soap, there's only a soap bar. So with my dirty hands, I need to move my pajamas on top of a clean towel to the top of the toilet bowl and then wash my hands in the bathtub and then take a shower. So yeah, that was fucking insane. That was fucking insane, and I hate that place. So my my pajamas are wet from the shower air, from the shower humidity, but also it reeks of shit now, so that's great. So I really miss my own room. So yeah, that was day 6. Welcome to 2025.